Hi, and welcome to another episode of the 8-Bit Retro Fix. And on this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Alan's Commodore 64. This is a Commodore 64 that Alan sent to me a long time ago. He sent it way back at the early days of the channel. I think it was around about episode 13, if you look back at my old ones, showing me repairing Alan's Commodore 64 before. So, back then this one was a fault with the SID chip that were giving it a black screen. He's currently sent it back to me again because he bought Gideon's Ultimate cartridge and he's plugged that in, and it, for some reason, it was working at one point and then it stopped working. So it stopped loading, and I suspect that it could quite potentially be a CIA chip. So he sent this back to me again for me to take a look at, and that's what we're going to do. I'll pop a link down at the bottom in the description if you want to have a look at the original repair of Alan's computer. It was an early video, so please be gentle. So what we're going to do is get on with this one now. Sega Zombie has also sent me a Commodore 64 with a very similar fault. It doesn't load from the disk drive. Again, that was down to the CIA chip. I've not done a video on that one. He's also sent me a 128 Spectrum, so it's got bad RAM. So that's a video that'll be coming up in the future. I'm also looking at Martin's from Hobby Lodge. His Amiga A1200 that we're still continuing to take a look at that. So this week I can progress a little bit more with that, and we'll see how we get on with that one. So they're up and coming videos. If you're enjoying my channel, if you're enjoying what I do, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell to be notified of up and coming videos. And that's about it for the minute. So the Commodore 64 with the Ultimate issue, let's get to it. Right, so this is Alan's Commodore 64. He's also sent me in his brand new Ultimate cartridge, along with all the cabling. He has also sent the tape adapter that he wanted me to check out, make sure all were working for him. What he said was every time you try and loaded something, it just hung and did nothing. So I'm just going to switch it off and plug the Ultimate cartridge in, and we'll just take a look at what he's reporting as the problem. So the way you put the Ultimate cartridge together is like that. So this Ultimate cartridge comes with two USBs on this side and an Ethernet port on that side. On the other side there is another USB. If you pull that back out, it looks like a USB 3. It's not a USB port. Don't think you can use it? You can't. These other in here, that's got a mic so you can record in, and it's also got sound out for when you want to do dual SID to get the stereo sound out of the Commodore 64. So that's all we do. We just push that in there, if I get it right way around. Yep. That plugs into the tape adapter, that goes into the 64, and I'm going to put my USB stick in. So I've just put Alan's Ultimate cartridge in there and put the tape adapter in, put my USB stick in, and it's now been presented at the Action Replay cartridge. So what I'm going to do now is just press the center button on the Ultimate cartridge. I'm just going to go find a game. We'll find it in there. Disc. I'll go for Commodore. So I'm going to enter into there, and all I'm going to do is mount the disc. So that's just like putting the disc in. So I press F7 if I do the fast load. If I press F5, it should load. Doesn't do anything. So if I put the command in, oops. If I put the, try again. Put the command in like we would normally do. And see what happens there. And it just freezes. It doesn't do anything at all. I don't hear the ultimate spinning or anything like that. So, in my past experience, we have got two CIA chips. We've got the left one on these boards that control the keyboard inputs, joystick inputs, etc. The right hand one on the board generally controls the data and things like that. So what I've got here is one of the 60s clone boards that I built, so I can get to these chips easy enough. So if I wanted to go for one of these CIAs. So this is the CIA that I suspect. So what I'm going to do now is pull this CIA off this board. I'm going to open the Commodore 64 and I'm going to change that CIA only. And then we're going to come back and see if it loads. After that, if it does load, I'll run the diagnostic harness on it and make sure everything's all okay. But I do strongly suggest that it's going to be CIA in U2. There is another chip on this board that does the same characteristics as that, but main culprits are normally the CIA, so we're going to go for that one first. So this is the one I'm suspecting, U2 CIA. I'm just off the camera, I'm just going to pull that one out of the clone board that I built. So you can see, I've just taken that CIA chip out of the clone board. Sorry if my big numb hand's in the way. I'm just going to pull the CIA straight out of there. I'm taking the one that we pulled out of the 60s clone board. I'm just going to put straight back into that top side there. I'm just making sure that all the pins are aligned before you push it down. It should be, and it goes. So, I'm just going to put the top back on again, and we'll just repeat that test that we just did. I'm not going to put the screw back in straight away, there's no point just yet. So I'm just going to put the keyboard connector back on. And put the LED back in. Pop the lid down. Oh, just case clicking together, it made me jump then. So, we're back to the beginning now. We've put the CIA chip in. The ultimate's cracked up now, look. We're back onto the main screen. I'm going to hit F7 for fast load. I'm just going to press the centre button. I think I might have done that wrong way around, to be honest, but hey ho, we'll have a look. We'll have a look in the SD card. We'll go back to Commodore. Or Mmmm. I'm going to mount the disc again. So that's mounted. Put the old command in. And let's see if this loads. And look at that. Instantly loads up. And it's done. That's how fast the ultimate is. So it's loaded it all into memory. It'll probably just have to decrunch it. So all I need to do now is type run. It'll decrunch and give you all the flashy colours that you see on the screen. And a few seconds later, it should present you with the game. And there you go, game's up and running. Press space bar, skip past, do it. Or maybe I have to plug the joystick in. Try and find port 2. Oh, how do we escape it? I pressed space before, what's going on? So we skip that. I score, restore. And you can see the Ultimate cracking away again now, can't you? You can hear that. It's just loading the next part. And we're into Commando. Sorry the colours don't look right well on the screen, but if I turn the colours back up, you're going to get a load of rolling artifacts on the screen. So there's nothing wrong with the telly or anything like that. It's just purely because I've turned it down. If I show you, well, it hasn't done too bad this time, but it did do when it were on the main screen, on the blue screen. So you can see that's that running. What I'm going to do now is we'll reset. We'll go back to original configuration. I'm going to press the center button on the Ultimate again. This time, in here somewhere, I have some tap files. So these tap files is going to load a game as it would do normally. So the Ultimate cartridge is going to send the tape noises down the line and into the tape adapter. So, what shall we pick? Plenty in there, isn't there? Have a look at Ocean folder. Is he a Terminator? Ah, look at that, we'll have a Terminator. Terminator Judgment Day. Not Terminator. Might be a long load of that one looking at the size of the file, to be honest. I don't want it to take the ages to load. In fact, I probably won't load it all in anyway. Let's just pick one. Yeah, Terminator. Like we said in the original. Stop messing about. So you can run tape, and off it goes. And it loads it exactly the same way as it would do normally. So now it's loading, and it's looking for the lead in, and then it's going to say found, as it normally does. When you remember, it gets to about 10, doesn't it, on the tape counter, and then it comes up found. We can press space bar, and it'll proceed. So you can see how it's loading in now. I don't know what its load rate will have on this one. It could be an overload. And you can see there, it's loading the tape. The PRG files load a lot faster. I'll show you a PRG file. So if we forget that now, hit the reset, go back into normal config, press the set button again. Let's see what you've got on PRGs, and you'll see how the difference in the speed. So go back to SD card, here's them. Let's go back to Commando again. Enter. And now you've got different options that appear. You don't get run tape, it just says run, load, DMA. So we'll run it. And you can see how fast that's decrunching. It's just injected it straight in all the lines and down the screen and thin lines. And you can see how quickly that came up. So the PRG is loading perfectly well and good there. So, what I'm going to do now is I'll just pause it, and I'm going to swap everything and take the Ultimate and everything out. And I'm going to put the harness on, and we'll have a look and see whether it passes all on the harness. So I'll be back in a sec. It won't be a sec for you guys, but I'll be back. So, bit of a time lapse skip there. So what I've done is remove the top back off again. I'll just show you now, look. We've removed the top off, we'll put the diagnostic harness on, we'll put the block off for the serial port for the disk drive, we've got the adapter on down here for the keyboard, and we've got the two joystick ports plugged in at this side here. We've got the diagnostic cartridge in there, and the tape deck one in the side there, and the serial user port. So that checks all the lines over this side, this checks everything around here, this checks all your inputs straight into your CIAs, that's from your joystick ports. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to run now, and let's see if it passes everything on the dead test card. Not dead test, sorry, diagnostic. So you can see now it's rolling around again, so I'm just going to turn that down. That's better, in it? It's not flickering anymore for you. So it's running through RAM test 1 at the moment. Stack, 0 page, stack, screen RAM, RAM test 1 and 2, 1 is all complete, 2's done now, PLA tested okay, colour ram's being tested. I would imagine that's going to come back fine, and for the sharp-eyed of you that's watching out there, you can see the 2 timer clocks at the right hand side, can't you? At the bottom, they're your CIAs to make sure they're in time. We've got all cassette ports all okay, user port, interrupt, there's your SID that's singing away now. Yeah, going flicking back a little bit, your 2 CIAs will be U1 and U2 on the left hand side in that box. The times at the bottom are telling you what the CIAs are reporting at, so normally if you've got a bad CIA, them times will be wrong. So that looked like it did a clean pass, everything's all okay, and that looks like that's fixed and everything's working again for you there, Alan. I'll get this all boxed back up for you. I'll have a bit of a chat with you, so I'll need to get your address off you again, and we'll get it back in the post for you. So I will call that another fix. So, what do you think of that? They were nice, simple, easy repair. I do like it when they come like that for us to do, with the chips being socketed. It just makes life a whole lot easier. And this is one of the reasons why I like to put sockets on chips. Especially if you're desoldering them out of the motherboard, it puts less stress on the board again when you put a socket in there, so there's easy change. Yeah, okay, you could say that the sockets give you an extra connection which do degenerate and get oxidization, should I say, on the chip legs and cause problems again, where if they're soldered into the board you don't tend to get that. But for ease for repair for next time, I always put sockets in. So that were an easy one. We saw on there that I attempted to load it as it came standard. It just hung as soon as we tried loading it. We then stripped it. We changed the CIA in U2. We plugged in the Ultimate cartridge, and I showed you how to go on with the Ultimate cartridge, how to load from that from disk, and we went through the tape loader as well, just to make sure that side of things were all okay again. I have played a little bit of Commando on there just to check, make sure the joystick ports are working. They're going to be working. We run the diagnostic test on it and you saw it all come clean. So that's another repair of a Commodore 64 that wasn't loading discs. As I said before, if you enjoy the channel, please hit the subscribe, hit the like button, if there's a like button, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, should I be saying. Yeah, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye!